Hey, hello there. Jim Hamilton here. So I want to relay to you guys. I had a great conversation with the founder of Nexstar today, Frank Blau. And after our conversation, and we started talking about several different things, but I realized that Nexstar does a great job of helping you guys understand how to grow a financially solid company and to make sure that your company finances are in order and the structure and the operations and the sales, everything as it relates to the company is flat out in order. But I want to dive in a little deeper to find out, why do we do this, right? Because, pretty soon our working life is over, and then you have to start thinking about retirement. Well, you don't start thinking about retirement the day you retire, okay? You start thinking about retirement today. And every business owner should be thinking about, how are they planning for retirement? And who's paying for the retirement? And how much do you need to pay for retirement? And where are you going to get the money to fund this retirement? And not only the employee or the owner of the company needs to be thinking about it, everybody needs to be thinking about that. And it's our duty as owners of the company to think about the people that helped us succeed in our business, and to start thinking about the employee portion of, how does the company pay for the employee's retirement? And where do you fund this money from? It's a very simple process once you think about it. But I do think that we don't talk enough about this, and I think we do need to talk about it, because retirement is inevitable for most of us. And we need to make sure that we are going to be prepared for retirement. And you guys that are thinking about recruiting good people today, I remember the first conversation I had with Frank. You pay your people better than anybody else. And if you're showing people that you're paying for their retirement, there's not too many companies out there that are doing that, and you can stand out if you're contributing or paying for the retirement for your employee. Frank was giving me a story about a couple of employees that came to work for him right out of high school, put him in the turd truck, or the plumbing drain truck. And, today they're a few years away from retirement, and they're going to have over $1 million in retirement savings just from the Blau Plumbing retirement plan that the company is actually paying for these guys. Not to mention the retirement they're going to get from their union benefit, and then any Social Security that's going to come their way. They're going to be generating over $150,000 in retirement income that's going to last them. And a lot of that is going to come from what the company is contributing. And we need to, if we're looking for good employees, because we know that in recruitment today is critical to our business, making sure we get the right people and keeping the right people, so that we're not spinning our wheels training and throwing money at training away on new people because people left us, because there's no Velcro that's keeping employees attached to your company, like a retirement plan. You're contributing to these employees' retirement plan. You also have to be contributing to your own, making sure that you understand that a portion of your profitability is going to go towards your retirement plan, and that needs to be put out aside. Frank will grab you in the halls at one of the meetings and ask you what's significant about the age 70 and a half. And what's significant about that, the other day I did a spreadsheet explaining the process of how the government forces you to take out money at the age of 70 and a half out of your retirement plan so they can gain their tax benefit from it. But that's not the whole reason. That's just a semantical piece of 78 and a half, and how you get distributions out of your plan and how much distributions you're supposed to take. What's important is, at age 70 and a half, your chances are you're not going to be employed, and you're going to need to live. So how much do you need to live on? You need to know that today. So that's very important. But I want to first touch on, I'm going to touch on that in a second. The first one is, Nexstar focuses on getting the company profitability right. Okay? And let's just say you're there, your company is profitable. Now we need to find out, do you have your retirement contribution plugged into that equation of profitability? Are you putting that money aside for your retirement. And how much money is that going to be? Let's just say, take an example, you're 50 years old. You're a young buck in my standard. And you're 20 years away from 70 years old, or 21 and a half years away from 7.5, where that required minimum distribution takes into effect. But how much money do you need to live on? And, if you have no retirement plan and you're not working, where are you going to get the money? You're going to live on Social Security? $30,000 a year? $35,000 a year? If you're lucky, $50,000 a year? Probably not going to live on that if you're used to making $100,000 or more in your business. And I'm sure that most Nexstar companies today, members today, are making at least that's a minimum amount you'll make. You should be making in your career years. But on top of that, you have to put money aside. So where's that money come from? And Frank has a great example, and it all ties back in. It's a cost of doing business. You owe it to yourself to put away for your retirement. So you have to look at that as a cost of doing your business, just like your overhead. Figure out what that's going to be. How much do you have to put away? If you're 50 years old and you want to put $1 million away, then you need to put in $50,000 a year from now till you're 70. Or if you want to retire at 60, you need to put $100,000 away a year. So how do you do that? It's very simple. You build it into your selling price. How many techs do you have? You have 5 techs? 10 techs? I'll do 10 because the math will be easier. You got 10 techs, and they got 2,000 hours a year that they're going to work. And let's say they're productive 50% of the time. Okay, so they're selling hours 50% of the time. So there's 10,000 hours. If you needed $100,000 a year, how much would you have to raise your selling price to make $100,000 a year on 10,000 hours? Okay? $10. Can you add $10 to your selling price today to cover your retirement of $100,000 in contributions over the next 10 years? I'd say that was doable. Now that's you. You'll be covered. Now that's $1 million. I don't think you're gonna need more than $1 million. So I would. Can you add it? Can you charge $20 more? Let's see, $20 times 10,000 hours. There's 200,000. There's $2 million in 10 years. Getting a little closer to what you need, right? Can it be $30, $25, $30, $40? Can you add that to your selling price today to make sure that you're secure for your retirement? I would argue that you could. Now that we're talking about you, let's talk about your employees. Contributing to their retirement. Okay, having the company contribute to them. You've got 10 employees, 10 people out in the field. Let's just say 10 for example here. How much do you want to contribute for them? Can you raise it another, if you're going to put 25 in for you, can you put in another $25? That's $2.50 a piece. Now, what does that give a tech over a 10-year period? Doesn't give them a whole lot. That's $25,000 a year. That's not too much that you're going to contribute for the guy. Okay? Maybe you put in $50,000 a year. Divide that by the number of hours that technician is going to sell, and that's how much it is an hour. If you want to put in $50,000 for him a year, then you add in 5,000, or you got 1,000 productive, $50 more an hour for their contribution. And then you've got your overhead folks, the people answering the phone. These are expenses that you need to include in your selling price. Now, who pays for this? This doesn't come out of your pocket. This comes from your selling price. If you know anything about Frank, you know this. The customer pays for everything. Okay? And that is true in business. You think of the union workers. Who pays for these union pensions? The company does. The companies pay for these union pensions. It's built in their retirement package. Right? We got to do the same thing. We have to charge the right price. Stop thinking about being so tight with your money and grabbing all the money for today. It's your job to make sure, if you want to attract the best people and you want to Velcro them to your business so they don't leave, you got to seriously start thinking about their retirement as well as your retirement and start adding that to your selling price. So you guys that are around $280 a selling price and $350 a selling price, could you go to $450? Could you go to $500? What does it take? What's it going to take to make sure that you're contributing to everybody's retirement plan along with your own? Okay? I'm going to leave you with that, but that's an important thing. I think Nexstar does a fantastic job, and we're going to expand this now into your personal finance side of it. And we want to stay on top of this. I think this can grow and put a little bit more focus on it. And if you see Frank Blau running around the halls, he's going to put some focus on it. I can guarantee you that right now. So be prepared. You owners out there, how are you contributing to your financial success for retirement? How much an hour? You better have that number on the tip of your tongue when you're talking to Frank, or you're going to get grilled. All right? And I look forward to seeing you getting grilled and having the right answer. All right, guys. If you got any questions, give me a holler. All right, hey, with Jim Hamilton here. I want to arm you all with information because I know that you will be approached. And I'm doing this for fun, but also it's for real. Okay? This is another training session passed down to me by Frank Blau, and I'm passing it back on to you guys. And for you to understand the importance of age 70 and a half, what actually happens to you at age 70 and a half? What does the government do with your retirement, or basically forces you to do with your retirement funds? Now, I just spent a couple hours speaking with Charles Schwab and their tax accountant on this as well, just so that I could get the information and build a template for you guys for this. And also got the information started with Frank Blau. But I wanted to make sure I captured all of the data and any up-to-date codes that may have happened. And this is currently the status, February 2017. And who knows what Trump will bring. But anyway, this is how it stands right now. So the government is saying at age 70 and a half, they are mandating that you take X amount of money out of your retirement plan. You have to take it out because they want to tax you on it. Okay? And that's just another way for them to get in your pocket. However, they've done this. I thought they might have done it with some type of a factor, and it couldn't figure out the percentage rate. And come to find out, they come up with a life expectancy multiplier on this. So at age 70, they're giving you a life expectancy multiplier of 29.4, which means of the $1 million, let's just say by the time you hit age 70, you put in you had $1 million at a 5% or 552,000. So you get $1 million at age 71. So you're going to get 50,000 at a 5% return on that. But if let's say it was this figure right here, this 552,000, you're going to get this number, $35,000, 714 that you have to take out after the age of 70 and a half out of your nest egg of $952,000. Okay? Now, if that changes, let's say it's $1 million. I just threw that in there to make this come out to $1 million at age 71. But you just plug in your number. Let's say you got $1.5 million. Okay? then you have to take out at the age 71, and you have to take half of the distribution out at the age 70 and a half. And basically there's some legal mumbo jumbo behind that. You got to take it out by April 1st, after the year that you turn 71. Okay, and then you have to take it out again at December 31st of that same year, after the year you turn 71. After the year you turn, after the year you turn 71. So if you're taking two distributions in 1 year, you're going to get hit twice in 1 year for tax liabilities. All right. And so this is just a template that shows you what your minimum distribution is going to be based off of your life expectancy that the government's saying it is, and it, depending on your ROI, I just put in a 5. I think 5 is a pretty conservative ROI number for a stock investments, wherever you're going to put your money, pretty safe. Should be getting about a 5% ROI on that. And as you take this amount out, okay, it's going to reduce the amount that you're going to get. Now, at some point, you can see that your amount increases, right? Well, that's because your life expectancy multiplier is higher, and then it starts coming down, so it's starting to take more money out of the equation. You can kind of start seeing it come out down here around 83. You'll start seeing that turns north on you, or turns south on you, I guess. You'll start seeing a reduction of the money that you can pull out. And that's at 1.5 million. Let's just say it was $1 million. You're going to see that reduction starts turning down at you again at page 83. So at age 83, that's starting to reduce your nest egg. Starts really taking it out and eating in, it's eating into your ROI as well. But the reason the government's doing this is they want to tax your money before you die. Okay, they want to get that ordinary income tax out of you before they die. That's primarily what I heard today. So just to let you know, this all does run out at the age 115. You just flat out run out of money. You have to claim it all by the time you're 115 years old, and that's it. That's the number that they've set out for this. But at age 70, you're going to start taking accelerated returns, distributions. Okay, government's going to force you to take this money out at age 70 and a half. So if you're ever approached by some gray-haired guy that was the founder of Nexstar at a Nexstar meeting, and he asked you, what does the age 70 and a half represent to you? It's the beginning of the accelerated depletion of your retirement plan. Okay, and the government has, right now, it's stated based off of a life expectancy multiplier. So I've given you a tool here based off of the life expectancy multiplier, and put in your annual rate of return and your current nest egg. Okay, and it will tell you what your minimum distribution is going to be. Okay, now if you're going to have Social Security on top of that, let's say you're lucky enough to get Social Security. Okay, let's say it's 50 grand, or that's 5 grand. Let's say it's 50 grand. Oh, okay. Then this is going to be your income. So your retirement, total retirement, that didn't add up. That was 500,000. All right, and it's 87,000. So that would be your. If you're in, Social Security, go ahead and grab a Social Security schedule at 2, and you can plug your Social Security schedule in here. You can print that out on any website. Give you your Social Security projections. I didn't do that for you. You're going to have to do some work yourself. Okay. Well, let's just say Social Security is not even around. That's why I really put it in here as a subjective thing. Maybe it's not even around. I think for everybody, as Trump says, if you're above 50, you don't have to worry about it. But if you're below 50, you're going to have to worry about it probably. Okay. So get this retirement plan built up, because if Social Security's not there, you got to have something to pull from. And it isn't much right now. If at $1 million, you can see that that's not much. It's going to last. Now you can dig into that as much as you want, but the government's forcing you to dig in at this rate, at this life expectancy rate. It's giving you a multiplier that you have to take it out at this much per year at each annual year. All right. So hope that helps. And Frank, I hope I did you justice on that. And we'll go from there. Okay. Talk to you guys. Bye.